Hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Bonsoir. It depends which time are you watching us from. This is Coach Janine with Umoja Global Network. I'm so excited for tonight with my many of wonderful guests that I have tonight, my co-hosts, all of them, and our special guest. Today, we're really bringing you special moment. It's not like every time we don't bring any special, but we every Sunday has a particular. So I'm so excited tonight for this particular topic because we've been actually, talking about it. And now we are ready to bring you so many exciting, news events coming up, which we hope you're going to really join us. Okay. Bonsoir tout le monde, c'est Coach Janine avec Umoja Global Network. Je suis vraiment dans la joie ce soir de venir avec tous les invités que nous avons ce soir pour vous parler de quelques événements que nous sommes en train de préparer et surtout pour la classe de octobre, le 15 octobre. J'aimerais vraiment que vous puissiez rester. Comme ça, nous allons parler de cela. Aujourd'hui, nous avons Coach Tina, Coach Mary, Dr. Lulu et puis aussi Queen Roberta. Nous avons toutes ces femmes formidables. Nous allons parler de plusieurs sujets, mais notamment nous allons aussi parler de sponsorship. Merci beaucoup et restez là, connectés. Invitez aussi vos amis ainsi que vos familles. Merci, bonne soirée. Guys, hello, ladies. I will start with Dr. Lulu. How are you, Dr. Lulu?
I'm great. How are you? And greetings to everyone, our viewers, listeners, as well as everyone here with us. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're so happy that you are joining us tonight again. Coach Tina, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you? Greetings,
Doing well.
everyone.
Thank you. And Coach Mary, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing very well. Good evening, everyone. So glad that you have joined us, and welcome to everyone that's catching the replay.
Thank you so much, Coach Mary. And Queen Roberta, how are you tonight?
I am terrific to be amongst you ladies and to share whatever it is that your audience needs to know. I am happy to be sharing it. So thank you for having me, Coach Janine.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure to have you. Definitely, definitely. So I won't really take that much longer time. I'm going to just ask again with you ladies. What is your relationship with sponsorship? Have you had sponsorship before? And how was your experience? I would like to, you guys, if you can share that. I'm just going to start with mine. So I have both sides. I've been seeking sponsorship in the past. I also being a sponsor. So I have those two roles that I have. But definitely tonight I'll be focusing on seeking sponsorship because that's really most of us are really doing. So my experience was really, I didn't know in the beginning what to expect. That was a couple of years ago. That was actually before COVID. I was doing a conference and that was really my second part of receiving a sponsorship package. So it was good, but I had so many questions in my head. I was like, I think hopefully it's going to be smoothly. So my relationship, definitely, I can say today, I keep really nurturing the relationship I had with the sponsor. And today, I can definitely say that it's a very solid relationship. So to me, it was a very positive one. Coach Mary, when I start with you, can you tell us about your relationship with sponsorship and have you had that before?
You know what? I didn't even know it was called sponsorship, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real
Yes.
because there was a commonality which
Mm-hmm.
had to do with illness as a breast cancer survivor. And there was that common thread that I'm a three-time author, and my journals were actually put into someone's boutique at no cost. And that whenever there were go lives in this boutique selling products during COVID, there would be number whatever it was. And with regards to that, people would buy these journals. And then another sponsorship came with someone, again, the common thread was the illness that this ministry that I'm a chaplain of now has blown and has grown and has thrived, that they actually not only bought and sponsored journals, but also breast cancer essential kits. So that was part of sponsorship too. And so what I've learned with sponsorship is to sow a seed. Sow a seed at an organization, sow a seed at a church, sow a seed at a women's group. So I'm always having something with me always to sow a seed, because you never know what that's going to result to, but most importantly, to help people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Coach Tina?
Well, you know my situation. I'm not big. I don't know much about sponsorship. I've done it previously in February of last year, and that was my first time. But I didn't have the same sponsorships this time when I did it my event again. So I need to learn the ins and outs of sponsorship so I won't run into that problem again. Building relationships is very important.
Absolutely, yes. Definitely. Dr. Lulu?
Yes, I agree with both Coach Tina and Mary. I've been on both sides of it, and sowing a seed is very, very important. We just can't be someone that always is receiving and always has your hand out. It's very important. And sometimes people think that it has to be something major, and it really doesn't. You can sponsor with your time. You can sponsor with your talents. A lot of times people need, whether it's an MC or they need someone to serve and moderate panels and things like that. So everything is not always about money, and people do appreciate you showing up and sponsoring the things that they really need. They may have money, but they may not have the right talent. And you might have that talent. And then on the other end of it, I've also had people to sow into the things that I was doing. And it was greatly appreciated. And I always say gratitude gets you more. So when you're grateful, when people are showing up and you're not always looking for, okay, I got to get the sponsorship from the big corporation. That's a beautiful thing. And I encourage people to do that. I'm looking to get more information, more learning so that I can begin to apply for those sponsorships. But I don't discount those that are willing to sow right now. And so I don't ever want to overlook someone because I'm so busy trying to get to what people deem to be the big thing. And sometimes you may have 4 people that are going to help to sponsor you, and that might add up to the one big thing. So that's my sort of little take on that.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your experience. Now, Queen Roberta, can you introduce yourself and also, talk to us about your journey, how you started in sponsorship?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Roberta Vigilance. I've been in the sponsorship space since the late 90s. I taught myself how to secure sponsors. How it all started, I wanted to plan an event that helped a certain demographic. It was helping emerging musicians get into the entertainment industry without having to sleep their way into the industry. This is how it all started for me. I was in college. I was working as a account executive. I had a lot of sales background prior to jumping into planning this event. I just jumped in with my passion of wanting to help this demographic. And how I was able to help them as I was working as an account executive, I was also working on this celebrity hip hop calendar. While I was working on that calendar, I noticed the people behind the scenes were the ones who were the movers and shakers that made up the celebrities. They were the makeup artists, they were the manager, they were the stylist, they were all these things. So as I was in college and I realized the students, I was a returning student, so I was a little bit older. So I realized the students wanted to get into the entertainment business. So what I did, I leveraged the contacts that I made within the Celebrity Project. And I started to, first thing I said, let me do an entertainment network seminar. That's actually what it was called. Jumping in passion first, I didn't realize that events cost money. listen, I had no experience, no knowledge. I just wanted to help. So I went knocking on doors in my community, and I asked these companies, would you invest in my event? I will place your information in front of your target audience. They all said yes. But when I went to the corporate brands, I went into that's how it was Manhattan, right? We're in New York. I went to the corporate brands and they all said no. But from sales, I realized that no, like why you're saying no. I later learned it was the language that I was using. I used to ask them to invest. That's when sponsorship opened up to me. But I still had to learn from trial and error. No one taught me this. Remember, this was like in the 90s. The internet wasn't about, barely was about, I should say. So you couldn't even go on and say, let me search what sponsorship is. I just learned it, the term. I mixed it with the sales background, the proposal and everything. And then I was able to land the corporate brand sponsors, monetary sponsorship, and in-kind sponsorship. I learned about in-kind sponsorship when I went to Kinko's, which Kinko's is, if anyone remembers Kinko's, they print flyers and all of that. I went to ask them for money for my event because college students, what they do, they print a lot of stuff. So I made sure I align my audience with the right companies, with the right brands. So Kinko's said, listen, we don't have the budget, but what we will do for you is print your flyers and your tickets. And I'm like, yeah, sure. That's what I needed the money for. So all this time I'm teaching myself. I continue to plan events. I continue to secure sponsors. But the thing I did not know then that I know now, and I just pour into individuals, pour into event planners and nonprofits, is that what I've learned, the mistakes that I've made, they don't have to make those same mistakes. So for example, I didn't know I could have used sponsorship to make money. Can someone tell me why I didn't know this then? Because I was so passionate about helping my community achieve their goals and just getting money to cover the cost of the events. Now I'm like, oh my God, I could have made money. I could have asked for a lot more money than I needed, right? So the ladies, everyone here on the panel, I think we all agree that sponsorship has to do with networking, right? You network, and also relationship. But I must say this, I started from ground zero. I didn't know any sponsor. I just knew the value that I had to offer, my event had to offer, and then I found those brands that aligned with them. So my experience with sponsorship started from wanting to help my community into needing money to fund the events. Let me back up. Wanting to help my community, planning events, wanting to plan events to help my community, needed money to plan those events, and then going out to get the sponsorship to fund those events. And then all the other stuff is, you can ask me questions about that part of it.
Wow, thank you so much. We can definitely hear the passion and especially also the determination, because definitely, those no's really fuel, the energy, so you can just keep going. Absolutely. We're just gonna go around, from the ladies asking a question. You can ask Queen Roberta a question. We can start with Coach Mary. If you have any question about sponsorship.
What is a suggestion for actually putting together maybe a top tip of a plan for sponsorship, like a commonality?
Understand your event, know the purpose of your event. So important. You don't want to skip that. If you don't know the purpose of your event, then what are you telling sponsors? Know the expected outcome. You need to know that for yourself, and maybe you can incorporate sponsors into that. Definitely, we all know your target audience. You need to know who they are, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's, the budget that they have. Know what value you have to offer. Right? What do you have to offer that sponsor? How are you going to help them achieve a goal. So start with what you have to offer, then go find the brands and the individuals, etc., that aligns with your objective, that aligns with your value, that aligns with your demographic, and reach out to those brands and those entities. Before you do that, I must say, have your sponsorship proposal ready, because once a person say, hey, send it over to me, you need to have it tweaked, be able to tweak it and send it. You don't want to wait until they ask and then you start the process, because it could take you a long time if you're not experienced in that area.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna go to Dr. Lulu.
What are your thoughts with maybe building the it's great to go for the bigger companies, but it's almost like everyone is going for the bigger companies. And what are your thoughts around this? You know, there's two sides to the coin. There's, do you want to be one of 1,000 or, you know, tens of thousands of fish in these buckets that these corporations have to sort of sift through to decide who they're going to give their discretionary funds, diversity funds, whatever's budgeted, versus building really strong relationships in your community with maybe smaller organizations. But like I said earlier, you may have 3 or 4, and it may take 3 or 4, but they may yield a higher chance of you getting those funds than going for the big bang. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree with you. I would add to that still give yourself sufficient time, because with smaller brands, smaller businesses, mom and pop family stores, such those type, they have budgets, believe it or not. Some do. And you mentioned in-kind sponsorship, where they can give their products, they can give a service, like if you're doing say mental health and you want to massage people's temples, you can get a mom and pop store company that's in the neighborhood, and that's the service that they provide, and they can actually sponsor that service. But give them sufficient time so that they can prep for it, so they can get their budget in order, so that you can market them, if that's what you're offering them, marketing strategies, marketing promotion, whatever it is that you want to give them, give the sponsorship sufficient time, or you want to give yourself enough time to activate those promises, those benefits that you promise those sponsors. For example, if it's visibility, you need sufficient time. If it's through the radio, if it's through sponsor ad, to lead up to whatever it is that you promised them. And the same with corporate. If you decide to do corporate, I wouldn't say don't do corporate. I wouldn't say that, but I would definitely endorse, you know, the local businesses as well for sponsorship.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
Coach Tina.
Okay, hi. I remember last time we had discussed about when you offering something to the sponsor, it sometimes it's not always they want the difference between sponsorship and donations. Can you explain that? Yeah.
So okay, I believe it was Dr. Layla, and forgive me if I said it wrong.
Dr. Lulu.
Dr. Lulu, I was going to just open up my screen to get it right.
That's okay, no worries.
Correct me when I'm wrong. That's me. So with you might see a lot of, you know, our peers or professionals with all these logos on a flyer, and they call them sponsors. And sometimes in reality, you're like, wow, you know, you have a lot of sponsors, but sometimes those are really donors, especially if the organization, the planner, is a 501c3 or another type of organization. So with donation, a brand, a business is giving you money to put towards the cause for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. It's like church, right? Individual, we drop in our donation, or we call it tithing. We just drop that into the plate, and we're doing it because the Bible said the Bible said to tithe. So that's what we do. We go and we tithe. That's a donation. We're not asking for any marketing strategies. We're not asking you to give us a shout out. We're not asking you to give us your email list or give me the list of your members. We're not asking. We're just donating. With sponsorship is different. We're asking for something. It's like bartering. Sponsorship is simply bartering, trading value for value. So that money that sponsor is giving you, that in kind that they're giving you, you are giving them something in return. And what you are giving them in return has to be equal to what they're giving you and more. Never less, because if it's less, now that sponsorship has lost value and that sponsor just lost on that money or resource that they gave to you. And lastly, I would add, even with in-kind sponsorship, and this is just a side note, when a sponsor gives you their product or service, don't count it as oh, it's just they just give me something in kind. Remember that sponsor, especially if it's a local business, they have to pay money to get that product. You're just getting the money in a physical form, so it still has value. Treat it as such and grow that in-kind sponsorship, return value, and then give them, you could ask for a monetary sponsorship. But the difference, again, let me go back, between a donation and sponsorship. With a donation, you need to be a 501c3 or some other type of nonprofit. You don't get anything back. So let's say I'm a nonprofit and I'm sponsoring an event. My name is just going on that event. You can do that, but you cannot give me all these other type of marketing, these benefits. If I'm coming to you as a business and I'm not a nonprofit to sponsor your event, I am now asking you for visibility through sponsored ads, through etc., whatever I need to achieve my objective. Now, there is something that's called intangible benefit, but then I'm going to be getting into the teaching part of it. Intangible benefit is similar to, it could resemble a donation, because the sponsor is supporting your event because they feel close to the cause. For example, my Entertainment Industry Network seminar was sponsored. One of my sponsors was a private sponsor. They did not want any type of visibility. They did it for an intangible. They loved what I was doing. People didn't have to sleep their way into the industry, and they stood for that as well. So they put up their money to support it. So it wasn't necessarily a donation, because I'm not a 501c3. I'm not a nonprofit organization. So sponsors fund events for tangible and intangible benefits.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For sure. Yeah. For
So
sure.
I
Yeah.
hope you guys are taking notes. I hope everybody. Thank you, ladies, for coming. Thank you, Dr. Tanya, Dr. Tammy, Dr. Zakia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coach K. Oh, you guys are always here to support us. I love it. I just want to give you an example, because we just finished a meeting tonight, this afternoon. Queen Roberta and I, we had a group of people from London. I'm just bringing people who can, because I see the value that, Queen Roberta, she's bringing. So not only people who are here in the US, guys, this is how good sponsorship is. So you can be able to work with different people, international, here, locally. That's really something that we were actually, talking with the group, making sure that they're very clear about the outcome of the event that they're trying to put. And that's next year, guys. So I hope every single, business owner who is listening to us tonight, you have things in mind. You have projects, you have conferences, workshops, whatever, you are thinking about doing next year. This is the time. So we really want you to sign up. If you can be able to sign up for October the 15th, for 1 to 2, and we have the links. You can be able to sign up right away, and you're gonna have access directly to Queen Roberta, so she can be able to help you with your business. You don't have to wait. Okay, I hope you guys can be able to sign up. My question to you, Queen Roberta, first we're gonna be wrapping up soon. How do you encourage somebody who just started, the business, or they started the nonprofit? Because I know you also work with some nonprofit. How do you recommend them in terms of really nurturing the list, the email list, but also the local sponsor that Dr. Lulu mentioned about? Because everybody, sometimes they can get overwhelmed with a big corporation. But how do you really encourage somebody? This is they just started the journey in nonprofit or in the business. How do you encourage them to prepare themselves for sponsorship in 2024?
If I started now, the basic is just the education part of it, just the base. There's the base knowledge is what I would say. The one thing that I had to change to get into the sponsorship realm is just my language. Remember, I was already selling, so I knew sales. Sponsorship is a part of sales, and you cannot be afraid of it, because I knew what I wasn't afraid of is I knew my passion. I was passionate about my event. And I said this, in my book, if anyone reads it, at the back, I said 90% of securing sponsor is being passionate about your event. 10% is just what's in the book, what I teach, right? That's the basic. If you're going to start now, right? Understand this, so you know the language and you know how to put together a good sponsorship proposal. So start from there. And then also know the value, right? Know the value. I want to say be passionate about your event for sure. Because if you're not passionate about your event, you will give up. Things in life happen. Oh my God. Things happen for real in life, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop what I'm doing here. It's like a fire that was put in me that I couldn't stop. It didn't matter what happened in my life. I couldn't stop. So that's how you have to feel about your event. You have to be passionate about it. If you're not, I wouldn't go somewhere else. I can't tell you. Only could speak from my experience. So after you know it, then get your sponsorship proposal ready, right? With the value you have to give, and then start checking out which businesses align with my objective, with my value, with my target audience. Then have your list ready, whether it's in Excel or however you keep your list. Have your list and the contact information. And each day or once a week, whenever you have time, if you have a full-time job, you do this on the side or however you decide, then you just go through that list every day. Look through it, who you call, put what they said, not now, come back tomorrow, don't call me never, whatever it is, put that down and just keep that process, doing it over and over again until you are able to secure your first or your next sponsor.
Ooh, I like that. Like, definitely. Now we're gonna wrap up, but we're gonna go back to each of the ladies if they can say our last word, our last word for tonight, and then we're gonna finishing up with Queen Roberta. She's gonna have our last word saying what people can expect in October 15th for the class, and we can start with Coach Tina, and then we're gonna go to Coach Mary.
Okay, thank you, Queen Roberta, for coming on and giving us those tips. I would want to say that if y'all are looking for any kind of sponsorship with an event, you have a podcast, you have a workshop coming up next year, you have anything coming up for the next year, and you are looking for sponsorship and you don't know where to start, I invite you to the class on October the 15th from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. And I encourage you to be in the room. You will learn a lot. She's going to bring all the jewels and information. And if you need more help, you can always contact her to get more help. But just be in the room so you'll get started. Start on October the 15th. Sign up. The link will be in the chat, and we'll also add it on all our pages. You can find us all on all our social media, and we'll have the link for you to sign up. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Tina. Coach Mary?
Thank you, Coach Roberta. I learned a lot from just what you have said, and I greatly appreciate it. Yes, you have to start somewhere. So you have an opportunity to learn about sponsorship on October 15th. But I will add this, with anything that we do, there's going to be rejection. But from that, you can learn, you know, and you can grow. And really, rejection is restoration, it's perseverance, it's knowing that you can never give up, because what you have to offer, your value, someone needs it. You just have to keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach Mary. Dr. Lulu?
I would just emphasize for folks to sign up for the class on the 15th. And I would say, know that there is no, I call it Puff the Magic Dragon. There's no fairy dust. There's no, these things happen instantly. They happen when we invest our time in learning and understanding what needs to be done. But if you're going to try to rush through it and wing it, you're going to get a lot of no's before you really get the yes. But invest the time, invest the coming to the class and learning, so that you have all of the tools that you need to go forward. And then remember, delayed does not mean denied. So be patient, be very patient, because some people are looking at a lot of different requests and they have to make a decision on which ones they're going to sponsor and support. Yours may not be this year, but it might be next year. So be careful in how you manage those relationships, because you don't know where you may fall on that list. But to get all of the insight into these things, you have to sign up for the class and be there with Coach Roberta. So I'm looking forward to gleaning everything that you're going to give us on the 15th. And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lulu. And the ladies have said, you have heard, I hope you were taking notes. The only thing I will add, just guys, you need to invest in yourself, especially when you are thinking about really going to the next level for next year. You need to start preparing now. And this is really an assignment for us. We're bringing you tools and strategies that you need to start to entering your 2024. So don't delay yourself, or really don't delay your preparation for where you're going, because sponsorship, that's something people have been asking me. Again, I don't go just by what I want to bring you guys. This is something everybody been asking me, so that's why we are just responding to your demand. So I'm really hoping you guys gonna really take us on this and really sign up. It's only $75 only, guys. I know, many of us spend $75 going to the movie with a friend, or just just some drinks, at the movie. But this is only $75 that you can be able to invest just by, really taking on the knowledge about sponsorship. I was just going to give you an example quickly too before. I was talking to this lady today, and I was talking to Coach Tina today. This lady always have sponsorship, always. And then for some reason, this year she's preparing her conference. For some reason, she doesn't have no sponsor. Guys, she has a record. She's been having conference each year, but only this year she sent the same thing she usually sends to as a proposal. Nobody responded. So I told her, yes, and she saw the flyer. She reached out to me. She said, Coach Janine, I need you. I was like, okay. And then we talked. She has an event in 21 days. I was like, I'm not sure what I can do in 21 days, but I know for next year I can be able to prepare you. But again, we have the experts in the room. Just come and sign up for October the 15th. So you can see, you cannot just assume that the person who sponsored you last year, the person gonna come back again this year, because she's been doing everything by the book. But this year, none of them give them anything. So I just encourage you, say, please come, on October 15, we can be able to talk more about that. So again, it's not guaranteed. Make sure that you come and really take the tools and strategy. And then our last speaker, Queen Roberta, your last words for our viewer and what they can expect for October the 15th.
Absolutely. Again, ladies, thank you so much for allowing me to share your platform with you. It's really an honor. Thank you to everyone who is listening. I just would like to say, whether it's a sponsor that is tuning in or a sponsorship seeker, right now I'm speaking to the sponsorship seeker. If you are not passionate about your event, it's a waste of time. Right. This is for people who are either they're already doing it, they're coming up out of pocket, they're tired of coming out of pocket, people who are making a small profit, right, or breaking even. Like, this is for you, because I know you are going to take action. What you can expect on October 15th, I will discuss some pitfalls to avoid, right? This person who has this event 21 days, let's find out if we can at least get her some type of money within this 21 days. And let's talk about also October 15th strategy and how to get some type of money. It's better to get something than nothing. And the good thing about getting something, even if you receive a no, is that you are starting the relationship with this sponsor. And you get to ask them, now I'm speaking, to the sponsors, because sponsors know they give up this information. Why did you reject my proposal? Why are you not sponsoring me? So they answer. Unless it's email, they'll just totally ignore you. But with small businesses and medium-sized businesses, when you go to their establishment, you have the conversation. Then you might find out they don't have the budget. You might find out that they're closing their business. For many reasons, right? So one, we're going to talk about some pitfalls to avoid. The next thing is, how do you keep your sponsor? That's very important. I know a lot of people have sponsors this year, then the following year it's a common trend, and it's okay, because you're busy planning the events, you're busy running life, and then you have to take care of your baby sponsor. Like, how do you do all of this? So we're going to talk about how you can actually keep your sponsors as well. So October 15th is to get you started. And for those of you who have already started, let's strengthen what you already have so that you can grow your sponsorship in 2024 and beyond. Of course, you can come in, ask questions, but the tool is to get you the sponsorship and help you to keep your sponsors. Again, these are for the ones who are go-getters, who are getting it and just ready, because somehow we know we are kind of like behind time, right? But we can definitely catch up with this information, and with your passion, we can definitely do it together.
Thank you so much, Queen Roberta. I think you have heard the ladies. There's nothing to add more. You know if you're ready or not, but even though you are not ready, let's really strategize together, because remember, this is why we're doing this. We want to strategize with you. We want to be your accountable partner, so you can finish this year strong and really starting your 2024 with confidence and with tools that you have to be able to attract sponsorship. Okay, thank you, ladies, for being here tonight with me. You guys were wonderful. And then merci beaucoup encore d'être ce soir avec nous. Nous avons parlé de sponsorship. Nous voulons vraiment que vous puissiez être là le 15, parce que c'est très important. Vous allez apprendre beaucoup de choses par rapport au sponsorship et ce que vous deviez mettre en place, parce que vous avez beaucoup d'événements pour l'année prochaine, mais ça sera vraiment une occasion d'apprendre encore plus. So, n'hésitez pas, il faut vous enregistrer le 15 octobre de 13h à 14h, et c'est juste $75. Donc, n'hésitez pas, il y a le lien qui est déjà dans le chat. Donc, si vous avez une question, vous pouvez me poser. Vous pouvez poser Coach Tina, Coach Mary, Dr. Lulu, Queen Roberta, parce que nous avons vraiment besoin de travailler avec vous en collaboration pour que vous puissiez avoir des sponsorships en 2024, parce que nous ne voulons pas que vous puissiez entrer 2024 sans que vous puissiez préparer vos conférences ainsi que tous les événements que vous voulez mettre ensemble. Donc, nous sommes là pour vous. N'hésitez pas vraiment, et j'espère que nous allons vous voir le 15 octobre. Merci beaucoup. Thank you guys again. That was a pleasure. Sign up. you have any question, ask the ladies, because we're gonna be sharing all this information in all our platform. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Yes.
Here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.